Ischemia, reperfusion injury, and free radical mediated damage. Depending on the duration of ischemia and hypoxia, restoration of the blood flow may have three following consequences. From ischemia to reversible injury. When the period of ischemia is of short duration, reperfusion with the resupply of oxygen restores the structural and functional state of the injured cell, that is, reversible cell injury. From ischemia to irreversible injury. Another extreme is when the ischemia is of a longer period and it results in an irreversible damage to the cell membrane and the cell itself. That is, when so much as time has elapsed that neither blood flow restoration is helpful to the reperfusion injury. Reperfusion injury can develop from ischemia to reperfusion injury. When the ischemia is of somewhat longer duration, that the restoration of the blood supply to the injured but viable cells, that is reperfusion, rather than restoring the structure and function of the cell, paradoxically deteriorates the already injured cell and leads to cell death. This is termed as ischemic reperfusion injury. Ischemic reperfusion injury also occurs due to an excessive accumulation of free radical or reactive oxygen species. The mechanism of reperfusion injury by free radicals is complex, but it has following three aspects. Calcium overload. Upon the restoration of blood supply, the ischemic cell is further bathed by the blood fluid that has more calcium at a time when the ATP stores of cell are low. Excessive generation of free radicals. Although oxygen is the lifeline for all cells in the tissues, its molecular forms as reactive oxygen radicals or reactive oxygen species can be most devastating to the cell. Oxygen free radical generation. The normal reaction of O2 to H2O involves 4 electron donation in 4 steps, involving the transfer of 1 electron in each step. Free radicals are intermediate chemical species having a single unpaired electron in its outer orbit. 3 intermediate molecules of partially reduced species of oxygen are generated depending upon the number of electrons transferred. Superoxide oxygen O2 1 electron, hydrogen peroxide H2O2 2 electrons, hydroxyl radical OH- 3 electrons. Other free radicals in addition to superoxide H2O2 and hydroxyl radicals generated during the conversion of O2 to H2O reaction. A few of these radicals are active in the body, namely nitric oxide, peroxynitrate, halide reagents of chlorine or chlorides, and exogenous sources of free radicals, including some environmental agents such as tobacco, industrial pollutants. Cytotoxicity of free radicals. Free radicals are formed in physiological as well as pathological processes. The rate of spontaneous destruction is determined by the catalytic action of certain enzymes such as the superoxide dismutase, catalase, and glutathione peroxidase. The net effect of free radical injury in physiological and disease states therefore depends on the rate of formation and the rate of elimination. However, if not degraded, then free radicals are highly destructive to the cells, and since they have an electron free residue and thus binding to all the molecules of the cell, this is termed as an oxidative stress. Out of the various free radicals, hydroxyl radical is the most reactive species. Free radicals may produce membrane damage by the following mechanism: lipid peroxidation followed with the oxidation of proteins, which is subsequently accompanied with DNA damage and cytoskeletal damage. Conditions with free radical injury: ischemic free reperfusion injury, ionizing radiations by causing radiolysis of water, chemical toxicity, chemical carcinogenesis, hyperoxia, toxicity due to oxygen therapy, cellular aging, killing of microbial agents, inflammatory diseases, destruction to tumor cells, atherosclerosis. Antioxidants. Antioxidants are the endogenous and exogenous substances which inactivate the free radicals. Example, vitamin E, A and C, ascorbic acid. Sulfhydryl containing compounds, example, cysteine and glutathione. Serum proteins like ceruloplasmin and transferrin. Subsequent inflammatory reactions. Ischemic reperfusion event is followed by an inflammatory reactions. The incoming activated neutrophils utilize oxygen quickly, oxygen burst, and release large excesses of oxygen free radicals. Stress proteins in cell injury. When the cell is exposed to any type of stress, a protective response by the cell is by the release of proteins that form or move molecules within the cell cytoplasm. These are called as stress proteins. They are of two types, heat shock proteins, HSP and ubiquitin, so named due to its universal presence in all the cells of the body.